I've pastored this church now for 30-something years. No member of this church, none of you, old and new, will say I ever lobbied for your money. None of you. None. Old or new. None of you will say you have a letter from me asking for financial support. None of you. None of you have such a letter. Or you were brought to my office for a private consultation, and I told you the pressure is too much. Help the man of God. None of you here. None of you. God is my witness. Because you must conquer covetousness. Have I always had money? No. No. Why haven't I begged? Contentment. Contentment. If it's not enough, we downsize. We cut down. We stay within what we have so we can remain in place of honor to be a blessing to you. Because you must know my manner of life, right? Yes. So I can disciple you well. You must know my manner of life. There were times things were rough. The pressure was much. We stayed within what we had. Patiently trusting the Lord till he brought us out. And it's not always like that. Sometimes there's enough. Sometimes there's none. And you will never see it on my face. Why? I'm not in ministry for a meal ticket. I'm in ministry to serve you the manifold grace of God. That's the qualification of a man of God. We had a part of our ministry, a guy who came into our ministry and then suddenly started borrowing money from people. Borrowing money from people. Borrowing money from people. And I went there to preach. I finished preaching and one of them said to me, a number of people have left the campus because our coordinator is owing them and he has refused to pay and they have left. I said, why didn't you people tell me these things? And I called him and he's bragging. I didn't collect it by force. He's not even embarrassed. I didn't collect it by force. I only told them the need and they were willing to partake. Partake in what? Partake in what? Partake in what? I told you, can't you see you have lost your ministry among these people? You cannot be their coordinator anymore. You are removed. Because we don't put you where you start wounding people and hurting people. You are supposed to be grace. You're supposed to be an encouragement. You're supposed to be strength to help the people of God. Am I teaching at all? Power City, listen, I'm speaking to all of you, Power City. Power City, Uyo, Power City, all over the world. Most able men. Able men. Able men. Hate covetousness. Fear God. Who are matured spiritually. Now, pay attention, please. So a man can be around for long in a church, but he's not able. A man can be in church for years, but he's not able. He's not fit. Why? Because he said they must be able. So which means elder is an office, not just an experience. Elder is an office, not just an experience. An elder is a function in the nation of Israel. We have elders by age, but that's not the issue. We are talking about elders who are functional, who are able, who fear God, who are not covetous. Elders who are functional, who are able, who fear God, who are not covetous. So they can be over the people. And to be over the people means they can be exemplary to the people. They can be an example to God's people. And what is the responsibility of these people? Look at what Jethro told Moses. Number one, they will rule. They will rule. Now remember codified language. How many of you remember codified language? Okay. They will rule. The word church is a codified language. The moment you hear church, what should come to your mind is Exodus. A people that were saved from bondage. A people that were raised from the dead. So meaning that a church has definite leaders. A church has authority. A church is a gathering. And a church has meetings. A church has definite leaders. A church has authority. A church is a gathering. And a church has meetings. So all these things must be found before it is called church by the original plan of God for the church. At the Exodus, there was leadership, there was order. At the Exodus, there were meetings. At the Exodus, there were teaching, doctrine. At the Exodus, there was practice. And that is what was called the church. I go over the list. At the Exodus, they had leadership. They had order. At the Exodus, they had meetings, teaching. There was doctrine. There was practice. So go back to Exodus, the 18th chapter, the 21st verse. Exodus 18:21, PJ.
Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands and rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s and rulers of tens.
And rulers, take note of the word rulers of 50s, rulers of tens. Give me verse 22, PJ.
And let them judge the people at all seasons, and it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee.
They shall bear the burden with thee. This is the office of what you can call the shepherd. The office of what you can call the shepherd. The word to rule there is functional with a shepherd. The word to rule is functional with a shepherd. Please stay with me. This is very important. To rule, to lead, to guide. They are all functionalities of the shepherd. To rule, to lead, to guide. Now let's go to Matthew the 9th chapter. But before then, look at this. So where do we get those who lead? In the local church. Where do we get leaders from? Amongst the people. We don't import help. We raise help. We don't import leaders. We raise them from amongst the people. That's why the church is a training house where people are trained and given an opportunity to express what they have been taught. So we raise leaders from amongst the people. Very important. Amongst the brethren. But they are exemplary. Those leaders must have been seen to be exemplary. So you don't start being exemplary when you are given a responsibility. You are exemplary first. That is why you are given a responsibility. You don't start being exemplary because you are given responsibility. No, you take on responsibility. You become responsible. You become exemplary. You are in the forefront even though nobody has appointed you. You take charge of mobilizing people for evangelism. You bring in the people you disciple. When you disciple, you hand them over for more training. You go out. You take initiative. You get busy. And you become an example for others. When we see that ability and that example in you bearing fruit, then we ordain you an elder. Not that you are sitting down like a chairman, waiting for us to make you an elder. Then when you have the name elder, you now want to do elder. No, you are first an elder by responsibility, by example. All we are going to do is confirm it and give it official recognition. And give it what? Official recognition. Please pay attention. So you are giving responsibility because you are an example. That's the church. You're given responsibility because you're an example. Now, who is supposed to choose the men? The Spirit or Moses? Moses. So which means God delegates the choice of whom he will use to the men he has chosen. God delegates the choice of whom he will use to the man he has chosen. Numbers 11 says, those that you know. Choose able men, those that you know, and let them stand with you. See that? So the leadership has to know them, which means they must have demonstrated ability and exemplary life.